Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV and Radio, where wisdom meets experience. Join a dynamic lineup of thought leaders, professionals, and changemakers from around the world. Dr. Madeline Chan from the UK, Mariska Dupreya from Australia, Red O'Loughlin from Texas, USA, Carolyn HEWARD from the UK, Zunette Lub from Cape Town, South Africa, as they share expert insights, personal journeys, and impactful strategies for success. Talking Heads isn't just a show, it's a global stage for education, collaboration, and inspiration. So elevate your knowledge, expand your perspective, engage in conversations that matter. Streaming globally, empowering locally, this is Talking Heads, only on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is Talking Heads. I'm Caroline HEWARD and I'm one of 5 Talking Heads experts, as you have just seen on the pre-commercial. I'm a TV presenter and the resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio, and I'm also known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. Before I begin my show, I'd love to share something that I'm very, very excited about. Our founder and president of USA Global TV and Radio, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, has been awarded the coveted YouTube Silver Creator Award, achieving over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. We have over 106 YouTube subscribers on our first channel that has won the award, and over 36,000 YouTube subscribers on our second channel. That's a total of 142,833 subscribers worldwide. Thank you to all our loyal viewers, our fans, our guests, and our own presenters for making this channel such a success. I'm an expert presenter on today's topic, which is holding on, letting go, the harsh truth of the long goodbye. It's part of the Mind and Body Connection series. Let's begin. We think of grief as something that we experience when somebody physically dies. And when we talk about grief generally, we think of it in those terms, that somebody has just died or somebody has died and the party, the loved ones, are grieving the loss of that person. So it's a physical manifestation of the person not being with us on this earth, on this planetary anymore. So grief can happen in a different way too. Grief begins long before that goodbye. It can be something that's different. And when there is terminal illness, every day is both a gift and a love and a loss. Moments of hope and laughter, moments of despair, and moments of exhaustion. This can be telling on all of those concerned, not only for the person that is going through a living grieving with the terminal illness. And let's just clarify terminal illness. It can be anything such as dementia, anything such as any type of cancers. It can be Alzheimer's. Now, just thinking about Alzheimer's and dementia is the fact that the person is still physically there, but they're not there in terms of mind and in terms of spirit, because there's a lot of things that they forget, and then it's a remembering or reconnecting and restructuring their life in a different way. And so the person that is your loved one is no longer that person, and so there is a grieving of the loss of the spouse, the sibling, the family member, the parent, the loved one, the intimate partner. There is a loss of what was within that relationship as opposed to what the relationship became. Terminal illness is something that it happens to many, many people, and yet it's one of the subjects that I don't believe, and I left school a long time ago, I don't believe that schools or any type of education, normal institutionalized education, teach us about and how to handle it. And the fact that we don't know how to handle it and we're not taught and we're not given any guidance is part of the problem of why it can become moments of hope and laughter, moments of despair, and moments filled with exhaustion. It also includes moments of heartbreak, the reality of the long goodbye. We hold on and yet we let go at the same time. What do I mean by that? We're holding on for dear life of that person. No matter what they're suffering and how they're feeling and what they're going through, we hold on for everything that's possible, hoping that that person returns, knowing on one level they won't return, and on another level knowing that it's possible to still live and still be with the loved ones. So holding on and letting go of what the life was and what it's become at the same time. This topic matters. It matters because it happens to so many people, and yet it's almost not really spoken about. It matters because there is a high rise of terminal illnesses, and there is a high rise of illnesses such as dementia and illnesses that take away the very foundation of who the person really was and how they were in their normal life versus what they've become. And terminal illness is something that not only affects the person that is suffering that terminal illness, it also affects the siblings, the parents, the loved ones, and the wider sense of the family community and the friendships. This topic really matters because we don't have enough education. We don't have enough institutionalized education to understand how and what to do and how to handle it. This topic we're going to explore is an emotional journey, and it also will explore the relationship roles of what changes within the family dynamic and the dynamic of the loved ones around the person with the terminal illness. The nature of the long goodbye. Grief shows up before the goodbye, and yet it's a long way off. It shows up in terms of the fact that we start saying goodbye well before the person has left this earth plane. We say goodbye to what was rather than what is. And then there's the difficulty of dealing with what is and what becomes the new reality. Are you holding on and letting go in your own life right now? If you are, this message and this topic and this show is for you. Whether you're here on the live or the replay, whether you're watching on USA Global TV and radio, or whether you're watching on E360 TV, whether this just popped into your window, because it had a relevance to what's going on in your life. Are you living like this? Are you holding on and letting go at the same time? It's the weirdest experience and the most fundamental of what happens when someone is suffering a terminal illness. It is anticipating the grief, anticipating the loss, the physical loss of the person with a terminal illness. Anticipatory is an interesting word in terms of the fact that it looks at what is going to happen rather than has happened. What do I mean by that? Anticipatory. You know, we can be anticipating good things and bad things in life. And whether we're anticipating good or bad things, you might experience like a butterfly feeling or a feeling in the stomach, which makes you feel good, excited, or nervous, or uncomfortable, feeling ill, sick. But whatever it is, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, that anticipatory experience leaves you feeling a gut experience and a momentary feeling of uncomfortableness, whether it is excited that they've had a good test result, nervous because they're going for a hospital appointment, anticipatory of are they going to be okay because things are not good for them. Whether you are the carer or somebody that's at the end of a phone call or somebody that's close by, a sibling, somebody who's really there on an everyday basis and yet still experiences this experience of the anticipatory grief. There's a contrast with grief after death as opposed to grief of somebody who's physically still here, who's still living. It's an oddity, and it still is a happening. It still is something that goes on. And it's a paradox because normally we think of grief as the person physically gone, a funeral, the rituals, the songs, the hymns, the service, the announcement. But this is unlike that. The anticipatory grief doesn't have any of those things. And some people that are going through the anticipatory grief, so when the diagnosis has been given, some people prefer to remain private. And whether you remain private or public, it is a private journey of grief. Whether you decide to tell the world, a few people, many people, or whether you move into a space of saying nothing to no one, it's still an anticipatory grief. We all handle this type of grief in different ways. Some people are very public and say everything, and some people are very private. If you are the very private type of person, there is a consequence of not being able to live in the way that you want to live because you'll almost hide so that you don't want to be seen because you don't want to say, because people will know and people will ask, where have you been? What's been going on? And that leaves the person that has decided to go quiet in a quandary of what to say, what not to say, and how much to say. And if they do decide to share, it then brings on, because whatever you think about and talk about almost brings on the situation and the emotions in a bigger way. And if you are the type of person that remains private and doesn't say very much, then that privacy allows you almost an escape route to still do things that you need to do and allow yourself permission to still get on with life as much as you can and still being in that situation of the anticipatory grief, holding on while letting go. It's a daily emotional tug of war, good days and bad days. It's between hope and being desperate, between faith and a good day where everything goes well, where they've slept, where they're not in pain, where they're feeling better, they're feeling more joyful, they're feeling that they can go out, versus when they can't go out, when there is no strength, when they can't sleep or eat or do anything that they really want to do. There is an old saying, the mind is willing, but the body cannot. When the mind thinks it's 21, but the body feels like it's 101, that's when it becomes challenging. When we push ourselves, whether you are the person with the terminal diagnosis, or whether you're a carer, or a sibling, or a parent, or a loved one, whichever role that you are in, even if you are the one that has the terminal illness, you will have this dilemma of having good days and bad days, and fair weather days, where if anybody asks you, you'll say, I'm okay, I'm fine. Ask them again, see what they really say. The impact on relationships, the spouse, the partner, the shift in roles. If it's an intimate partner, the role of intimacy becomes the role of carer and caregiver. It creates burnout and turmoil for all those that are involved in this family unit. And let me make no bones about this, that burnout is sure to be affecting everyone concerned, including the person that has the terminal diagnosis. Because it's like living on a knife edge, not knowing when, not knowing how. And sometimes the person may not physically die from the specific illness. They may die of something different because the organs fail. It could be a heart attack. It could be other types of illnesses, like a viral cold or a flu, because their immune system is really low, that they pick up an infection. So this is something else that needs to be thought about, that the person that is terminally ill looks after themselves and makes sure that they keep themselves away from lots of crowds and keeps themselves feeling that they are safe, because feeling safe and being safe could be two different things. This leads to a hiatus of anxiety. Now, anxiety is when you are totally focused on future things. That might happen, this might happen. If I don't do this, then that might happen. And if I do this, what about this? What about the hospital appointment? Do I need a blood transfusion? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to be in the hospital for hours? Am I going to be able to make the journey? Am I going to sleep? Am I going to get up early in the morning? All these things go round and round and round in the person's mind until they get to a point that they may be very tearful. And reach out to those that are around in their environment, their loved ones. It's very hard when the person that's terminally ill only has the release of tears, because there is no other way. And I just want to say that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be not okay. The children balancing honesty and protection, evolving the understanding of what is and what is not, what might be possible and what might not be possible. It's a weighing scale. It's a time of balancing everything and living each day as each day comes in the present moment. Living each day as if it were the last day, creating memories and creating milestones and celebrating the good moments and celebrating the moments that you've done things, that you've achieved things, and celebrating the moments that you can spend with loved ones and family members. The extended family will share this grief. They will share the silent struggles. Even the person with the terminal illness will have their struggles of what they say, what they don't say. Sometimes it's easier not to say and talk about things, because as soon as you do start to talk, it wells up all the emotion that you've tried very hard and had a lot of strength behind pushing it down and keeping yourself together. It's an emotional roller coaster, the good days and the bad days, living in uncertainty. The emotional roller coaster can feel sometimes where you feel guilty, moments of joy at a time of loss. Is this right to feel moments of joy? Is it right to go out and have fun when you are living in a living, grieving? Or do you put your life on hold and say nothing to very few people? Have you given yourself the emotional permission to feel, to cry, to allow yourself to feel the emotional roller coaster? Allowing permission to feel, or do you hide your emotions? Emotions can be sadness, they can be anger. The person, especially going through the terminal diagnosis, they can feel in a state of anger. Why me? Why is it happening to me? Why now? I have so much to live for, so much to do, so much to be, and so much that I want to do in life. Why now? And it almost can compress a day, a week, a month, a year to what next? The feeling of helplessness for the caregivers, the loved ones, as well as the person that's terminally ill. Love, guilt, anger, helplessness, they all coexist in this journey of the living grieving. The loneliness of watching someone slowly fade, slowly become not the person that they were, but the person that needs the care and needs the help. The person that's lost the weight, that has dropped so many sizes of weight that they're skin and bone. How do you cope? You cope by giving them all the love and the tenderness that you possibly can, and creating the moments, those special moments, even if they're small moments, creating those moments. Let's look at side effects that change the mood and the personality and the daily functioning of the person that's terminally ill. The side effects of the medication. Yes, there are always side effects for any type of medication. And it doesn't matter even if it's an aspirin, if it's a paracetamol, if it's a painkiller, there are always side effects. And for side effects, that can affect the person in huge ways that's going through the terminal diagnosis. It can affect the mood and even the personality and their daily functioning in life. They tell you about the side effects, and the hospital staff are pleased that the side effects are being seen, are being experienced. Oh, good. That's another side effect. Then we know the medication is working. That's great. The side effects. We know that you're okay as you're experiencing side effects. But what about if the side effects of that medication become too much and almost become worse than the actual illness and symptoms that they're originally suffering? It extends the person's time, but it also complicates the journey. It can debilitate the person with the terminal illness to such a point that they might even feel, if this is the way that I have to live, how can I continue? How can I keep going if I have to suffer like this. But the loved ones want the person to stay alive. I can understand why some people that are suffering so badly look at other options by not taking medication, or look to find other forms of a way out. In the UK, it is illegal to do the option called euthanasia. And that is such a big topic that I will cover euthanasia in a different lesson, in a different episode. But euthanasia is something that when the person is struggling so much that we feel and they don't want to suffer anymore, and yet they don't have the strength to end it themselves. But it is illegal. So in the UK specifically, we have to suffer even when we don't want to suffer anymore. It does complicate the journey, and yet it will keep the person alive. So how does it feel when treatments are meant to help and yet they change the person you love? They might change the mood where they're not able to regulate their mood. They might feel anger and not be able to contain the anger. They may feel overwhelming bouts of painful sadness, which is the person literally grieving themselves, grieving the loss of their life that was, and grieving the loss of their life to come. The anticipatory grief of the person going through the terminal illness. It's hard to adjust for you, the caregiver, the loved one, and the person with the illness. Coping and survival. Daily rituals for you, the person with the terminal diagnosis and illness, and for your caregivers and your loved ones are important for your survival of this anticipatory long goodbye grieving process. These rituals, whatever they are, whether it is to go shopping, whether it's to cook a meal, whether it's to be in a space of laughter with loved ones, whether it's just to be in a space where you can watch a TV show and get lost in the TV show, whether you are in a phone call, whether it be a FaceTime phone call or whether it be an audio call. We have so many technological advances that we can FaceTime, and it can be meaningful, more meaningful for the person to see your face. Or it might be that they call in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, where they watch the clock go round and able to sleep. The night times seem to be the worst times. It's when all the distractions are gone and there is no one to talk to. Are you the person that they reach out to and call in the middle of the night? If you are, count your blessings that the person terminally ill reaches out because they know you're there. Rituals are important, however small they are. They're important because they get and give you some semblance of life and being present. They anchor you and they move you into a place of doing and being rather than thinking and being anxious. What helps you carry the weight for the unbearable days? Find support. Friends. Reach out for therapy in whatever guise that works for you. If you are the person that's terminally ill, there will be places and people and consultants that you can reach out to through the, in the UK, it'll be the National Health Service. There will be counsellors that will be available. Also, people like the Samaritans, people that will help in times of distress. If you are the carer and feeling burnt out and can't cope, it's important that you find your rituals and the things that are important for you to be okay to cope with those everyday things that happen. Faith. Many people turn to their faith. They might even be not a faithful person in terms of their religion, and they may turn to God. And if they do turn to God, this is a sign that they are trusting in the unseen, in the unbelievable. They are then finding a comfort in faith. It might be that they turn to community. Whatever community is around, whether it's neighbours, whether it's the local stores, whether it's the local bank, are there any these days? It might be a telephone call. It might be the nurses. It might be the extended family, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles. Whatever your community looks like, whether you are the caregiver, whether you are one of the loved ones in that family of the person with the terminal illness. And also, it's important for the person that is terminally ill to reach out to what has become their community. Allow yourself permission to cry. It's very important to give yourself permission to cry because you are grieving. And it's the most natural thing in the world. It might feel odd, it might feel strange because the person is still alive. But it is important to allow yourself that permission. The challenge that you will have is in always crying and being very emotional, that it will weigh very heavy and you will feel lethargic if there has been lots of crying, lots of tears and lots of anxiousness. It'll almost feel like you're on a knife edge and you don't know when the time will end on that knife edge. Allow yourself whatever it is that you feel. Allow yourself to laugh when there is a joke or something that's funny or something that you achieved. Allow yourself and give yourself permission to rest. If you didn't sleep at night because of no distractions and you weren't able to sleep, allow yourself and give yourself permission to sleep during the day. Preparing what's ahead. There's conversations that are important. Unsaid conversations. Encourage those conversations that are unsaid. It's difficult for everyone, both the person with the terminal illness and the family and the caregivers of the family. It's difficult, and yet these things have to be done. In the UK, we call it getting our affairs in order. The mortgage, the paperwork, the bank staff, who pays what. It might sound trivial, but these things matter, especially if the person that is terminally ill is leaving behind the family and they were the person that handled all the affairs. It might not sound like the most important thing in the world, but it becomes the most important thing to handle when the person has finally said their last goodbye. Allow yourself to have and to be encouraging those unsaid conversations. Be open. Be open to say, be open to speak, and be open to say what's concerning you. Now is the right time. so that the family unit can come together and be as one. Family units can come together and make the family unit much stronger. And we all will become our own best advocate by stepping into the roles that we naturally step into. There is no right or wrong or indifferent. There just is. We all will step into the role that's right for us. And everyone, and I say this, hand on heart, everyone, caregiver, siblings, loved ones, family, friends, all need respite, including the person that is suffering the terminal illness, because they're living on a knife edge. They're not knowing when or how. They're not knowing what they're going to feel from one day to the next, whether it's a good day or a bad day. On the good days, make memories, take photographs, write letters, share moments. Small moments, no matter how insignificant, become big moments. The importance of self-care, I cannot iterate enough. Self-care for everyone concerned is vital. It's paramount to feeling okay when you're not feeling okay. Sleep, eating when you can, for everyone concerned. It is important to allow yourself the permission to feel okay and celebrate the moments that you are able to celebrate. When you think about love in the midst of loss, what stays with you the most? What does it mean to you to both hold on and let go? What does it mean to you? The long goodbye is one of life's hardest journeys. It's a path filled with love, with pain, with resilience, with unbearable tenderness and words cannot describe. If you are living through it, remember, you are grieving. Your feelings are valid. Honour those moments and that connection. Seek support when you need it. You are not alone. Holding on and letting go can coexist. Within that tension lies the deepest truth of love. You are not alone in this. Thank you for your attention and your interest. Please do subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. Please do subscribe to both channels, the awarded channel and our second channel. If you need help and if you need to speak to somebody, reach out. You can reach me on No More Stress at live.co.uk or call +44 if you're international. If you're local, 07523 120 189. Namaste.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.